Hello everyone, my name is George Hammond and today we're going to take a look at Spitfire Audio's new sample library, Solar Mercury. Mercury is currently available at £99 on intro pricing, which lasts until Thursday the 15th of September. After that it will retail at £149. Both are pretty good prices, I think, for the amount of content in this library. It's pretty insane how much is in there. Mercury features 300 presets with 672 unique sounds. Wow. I've gone through almost all of the presets and I've made a selection of my favourite ones, and those are the ones we're going to be going through in this video, as there just isn't enough time to get to all the ones that I want to if I was to go through every single preset, because there's just so many. Mercury samples 14 unique acoustic sculptures handcrafted by Chaz Smith, who worked on Dune, Dunkirk, Interstellar and the Saw franchise, amongst many others. These sounds really do fit all of those films, especially Dune. This library is just perfect for that type of ethereal soundscape. As we'll get in and start playing these sounds, you'll instantly start hearing Dune and all these different films. It really just fits that sort of soundscape so well. Mercury also comes in with a download size of 8.2 gigabytes. Quite on the larger side for these sorts of libraries, but I definitely think it's worth that extra space that is taken up just due to how it sounds. It sounds fantastic. Now, before we jump into Cubase and take a look at Solar Mercury, I want to quickly thank Spitfire for sending me a copy of this to review. It really means a lot and I'm quite excited to take a look at it. However, I will be, like in all my reviews, be staying as unbiased as possible whilst we take a look at Mercury here. So let's jump in and let's take a listen to how it sounds. So this is what Mercury sounds like. I've had it up on the screen for a few minutes now, and initially I just want to go with the UI, because when I first loaded up this library I was quite shocked at first. It looked a little bit scary. There's a lot of knobs and dials here, but really when you start breaking it down it's pretty simple. One complaint I do have, it's not really a complaint, it's just something I find really weird, is the fact that the mod wheel is represented 3 different times. We've got it up here, we've got it down here, and we've got it here. Just feels a little bit unnecessary to me to have it represented 3 times, but I really do like this crossfader being here. So what that allows you to do is crossfade between sample A and sample B, and here we've got individual LFOs, they call it wobbles. We can control the pitch, filter and volume for each one, so it's nice that we've got a nice variety and selection of controls we can control with LFOs. We've also got envelopes here, high passes, low passes and ADSI, or pretty standard stuff. Also got some extra options like tuning, panning and stuff like that here. And there's an oscillator here, so you can, if I hold down a note, you can see it's automatically going between the two of them. So that's really nice that we can control that as well. Up here, the big knob, we can control different ADSR amounts and filters, so that's pretty cool. Here we've got effects, and here's the granulator. Really cool, we'll play around with that a little bit later, and we've got a gate sequencer here. So let's just load up the first preset I have starred. So we go to start here. These are the ones that I think are really good that I've gone through. So we're going to have a play through all these. As you can see here, there's different options. So you can, if you want bright ones, you can click that just to get bright or core, etc, etc. What I think might be really interesting with this library is if they go on and make expansion packs or other libraries in the Solar range. As we can see, this plugin is actually called Solar, it's not called Mercury. Solar is the name of the engine, and how this is laid out to me, it's sort of as if there could be a button here saying Jupiter or Earth, and those could be other similar sort of sounds but done in different ways. Christian Henschen is well known for doing a lot of field recordings of different ambiances and stuff like that. Could be quite interesting to have a library based around those in this new engine and this new sample player. Let's jump in and take a listen to Aluminium Carbon here. So as you can see there, I'm fading between A and B. And already we can start hearing that Dune-like sound. Really is quite amazing. Let's go to the next one. Another aluminium one. we're going to hit a key and turn on this oscillator here. So that's really nice, really relaxing. There are some quite nice sounds in here. There's some harsh ones, there's some more meditative ones, but all the sounds do sound pretty cool. As we can tell, we can really, really easily start getting some really melodic and peaceful soundscapes. Really Dune-like. Really, really cool. Let's go on to the bass tweed vein here. So we can get some really nice progressive sounds that way. Really, I just love the sounds of this library. There's so many cool sounds in it, and it's really easy to modulate them. We go into Cubase's automation thing here, and go to Solar. Look at how many things we can control here. Loads, just so many that we can control. Look at how many that is. That's insane. So many different parameters we can automate, and that really is really, really cool. And it is amazing just the sort of sounds you can get by hitting a key for 3 minutes and just modulating all these different parameters. It really is great because you can just load it up, do that, and you're done. It's fantastic. I really like this repertoire danger. Quite nice. It's got that sort of harshness to it when we have it on sample A only. But as we move it to sample B, it gets that softness, and it really is just beautiful. One thing to keep in mind, it is really quiet, this library. Quite a few Spitfire libraries I tend to have to turn up, but this one I'm going to probably turn up to around 170. This is my second time recording this video. On the previous one I forgot to turn off a gate I was experimenting with on my microphone, so the audio was ruined unfortunately. But I believe I actually had to turn up to around 213% at one point in that, so we might have to turn up a bit more a bit later on. I just love how many atmospheres and textures there are in this library. It's just fantastic. It's beautiful, really. And I love how we can cross between those harsher layers and these much more softer layers. And I think this would be a good one to show you the gate on. So I'm just going to turn it on here. So that really is quite amazing, the gate there. It's so nice to have that included in a synth for once, because in a lot of different things like this, they're not included, so you have to go and you have to add another plugin, and it's more CPU usage. Though in general, the CPU usage with this library is really quite low. I haven't really seen it go above 10% at all. I've been testing it for a few hours now, and it tends to hover at around 1 to 6%. So that is really quite amazing that it's got that little CPU usage. Really is very great. I'm just going to go to the effects here, because I want to experiment with this grain engine here, because I think that'll go quite well with this sound. So I'm going to turn up the mix to 100%. I'm going to increase my grain duration, increase the delay, and increase the frequency. And we can start messing with the tuning. What's really nice about this is we can mix it in, so we can have no grain or full grain. It is a little bit hard to click these dials here correctly. You can't really click right in the middle, you have to click more over to the side. So this is the sound with 0% grain. I'm just going to start mixing it in. So we can get some really, really nice textures there using this grain engine. So it's really nice to see that included instead of having to play it out, render it out, get a new grain sampler and do all that. It's really nice to just have it included. On to the next sound here. Ah yes, this one really reminded me of June. Specifically the opening song, I believe. It's the one I'm thinking of. I can't remember the names of all the ones, but it says one particular song that this one just jumped out at me as, yeah, that reminds me of that. So just a really, really, really beautiful sound, and that is what I like about this synth so much. It's not really a synth; it's a sample, granular sampler sort of thing. It's a bit hard to describe it, but it sounds fantastic, and it's so amazing. Just load this up, and there you have it. You've got your soundscape part of your score. It's just fantastic. I can see this being used on so many things in the future. This one's really nice. It's got that harshness, but it's also got just that pure synth flair. Just beautiful. And that's what I like about so many of these sounds. They are just so beautiful. I really love making this sort of music, and I wished I'd had this library back when I was writing my Mars suite. I've released that now. I didn't actually really end up finishing it. I just sort of did a bunch of sketches, and then the project I was doing it for was cancelled, and I got permission to release the sketches. But I would have loved to have had this for that. This would have just fit so amazingly. This really is such a cool library, and it's just so easy to use as well. It looks daunting because of how many different things there are here, but it is what I really like is if you see down here, if you hover over something, it tells you about that thing, so it's really easy to learn and pick up. I'm now just going to play a few more sounds for you. So that was just me playing around with one patch. That was all one patch and just automating different things here. I was doing it all live, but if you just hit the keys, recorded that in, and then did it yourself, you could probably get really desired results. That was just me sketching, basically. And damn, doesn't that just sound fantastic? I'm just blown away with what it's capable of. It truly does sound fantastic. I've actually only shown you a few of these presets here. If you see, that's the one we're on. And all of these are just other ones that I've favorited. They're not even what's actually in the library. If we go here and look at absolutely everything, there's just so much. We're scrolling here for ages. Look at how much there is. There's so much content in this. It's just fantastic. Just look at that. Look at how many things are in it. Just, it's mind-blowing, really, how much they're fitting to this library. But that was just one patch, the paraboloids spot. And damn, doesn't it sound amazing? That really just sounds out of this world. It's such an amazing sound. Would fit into so many different things. It's really amazing. Here's this one, which is a really nice sort of celestial pad-like one. So as you can see, there's just some really nice patches in this library. I haven't really got time to go over every single one, not even all the ones I favorited, which are all the ones I wanted to show you. So I'll probably end up doing a video where I sort of do a demo and we sit and we write a piece of music, maybe a live stream or something, and we use the synth to write a bit of music. But this really does sound just fantastic. I'm so happy with how it sounds, and so thank you Spitfire so much for sending it out. I think it sounds amazing. The UI is a little bit funky at times, but once you really get into it, it's alright. It's a bit daunting to look at, I think, but wow, it just sounds so amazing. And thank you everyone for coming and watching this video. Be sure to like the video and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also check out my Patreon. Thanks to Macavalon for sponsoring all these videos. And thank you Spitfire Audio for sending this library out to check out. Really cool to take a look at. It does sound really cool. My name's been George Hammond. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.